We are live back again. Unbreakable and uplifting with us today again. As you already know, she's gonna be giving me all the questions that you guys have been waiting for to ask. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a two-session thing. The first one is tonight. I'm basically hoping that you guys bring enough questions and give me a bit of details as far as me giving you the best answers possible. It's going to be tonight and tomorrow night. So if you happen to not get your answers tonight, there's a good possibility of you getting it tomorrow night. Unbreakable, how you doing today?
I am fabulous. How are you, Peace?
Good, good, good. Good,
I
good. Are
hope
you
you're
ready
ready.
tonight?
No, I hope you're ready. I
I'm
hope
ready.
you're ready
Ma'am,
because we got a lot.
Miss Lady, I'm ready. You know what? I'm ready.
We got a lot. We got a lot of questions. Some that I'm really anxious to hear the answers to from you.
Okay.
Some that are pretty sensitive, some that are coming across anonymously. So yeah, I hope you're ready, Peace.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
You
Let me
ready? You want to jump right in?
Yeah. Give me just 1 second. Let me check this
Okay.
one out. All right. Can you still hear me fine?
I'm good.
All right, good. No problem. Hit me. Give me what you got.
All right. Now I'm gonna be all over my phone because I got them all over my phone. I got
Okay.
snapshots. I'm jumping on our page. Question number one.
hmm
Would you take marriage advice from a friend that was the other woman and then married him?
I saw that question as well. And okay, the first thing you have to understand about advice, everybody gonna give you advice. Everybody can give you advice, but there are two things that you need to pay attention to. The advice that you are getting, sometimes, if the advice is good, you probably might not want to look at the source of the advice.
Mm,
Because if somebody is doing something they're not supposed to do, of course you don't expect to get advice from them. But that does not mean that this person could, be lying or telling you something different when it comes to your situation. But at the same time, the frustration is when somebody keep making bad mistakes, you know what I mean? Bad examples, that person definitely, is not the best fit when it comes to giving you advice. So
mm.
my suggestion would be like everybody, like common sense, try to analyze the advice, trying to see if the advice is constructive, and if it is, use it to the best of your benefit. And if it's not, just act like you didn't even hear the advice. That's basically my best advice.
Okay. Okay. What I want to elaborate on that a little bit more. I mean, from a situation where this was the other woman,
Mhm.
and is now your ex's partner, um,
Oh, that's a no
do you
go.
think that's healthy? Do you think it's healthy? Because
No,
that's
no,
what the
it's not.
question is. That's what the
It's not.
question is. This is the other woman who
Giving you
married
advice.
your ex. That's what the question is, Peace.
You see, and then that's why I call we are peace. You know what I mean? I try to think about it in multiple angles.
Mhm.
And if somebody is already the reason why you're no longer in the relationship that you're in, most people, we wouldn't be listening to anybody like that because I don't
Mhm.
think I don't think my best interest is will never come from you. Like I would never
No.
expect you to be telling me anything like that because the one thing that I had, you already, took it away from me. So my advice would be, whatever advice they're trying to give you, there's no need for you to be listening to that person. I don't even know why you
Mm.
even would be friend with that person to the
Mhm.
point where they'll be in your space as far as giving you advice. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So yeah, my answer is no. Do
It's
you
a
know the
hard one.
advice that was given
No,
by any
we
chance?
only had we only had the question that was posed to us.
You
So,
see what I'm saying? Because let's say that this person is telling you, my advice would be to let this man go because if he was okay with leaving you to come to me, maybe it doesn't respect you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
As much as you might not want to listen to something like that, that advice could actually be beneficial.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? It's very difficult to even go around it because from the source, it's already, you know, it's already all over the place. It's like if you
Mhm.
came into my life or you came into my person's life, my partner's life, you ended up breaking the relationship. That person ended up leaving me for you. You have no
Mhm.
one to tell me, you know, what I'm supposed to do next. But if this person is telling you, I think it would be best, you know what I mean, to just let it go. It's not the source at this point. It's about you letting go. So
Mm.
as difficult it might be, that advice could be good. But if it's not the case, whatever else the person is telling you, you don't need to listen to them.
Okay. All right. Let me say hi to everybody. Jamie, Paige, Team Neat, Jennifer. Jennifer, you can type your questions into the comments. And I am jumping around from the comments that we're getting on live right now, as well as the questions that we've already received through either private message or from our direct posts this week. We're going to get to them. Okay, Peace, this is a hard one.
Okay.
I don't know, at least it is for me. Um, it's a very long one, so I'm
Okay.
going to try to make it a little shorter.
Okay.
So this is a female of another culture,
Okay.
who is married,
Okay.
and she is currently or has currently been involved with another woman. Her
Okay.
husband is aware and
Okay.
apparently doesn't have an issue with it.
Okay.
She fell pretty hard for that woman,
Mm.
and that woman actually started cheating on her.
Okay.
She gave her chance after chance, and I'm paraphrasing this. It was quite a conversation that we had last night.
Okay.
Um, Started cheating again and again. Our questioner, the young lady who has the question,
Uh-huh.
says that she kind of was feeling crazy about it, and this woman was kind of making her feel crazy. Every time she's tried to kind of push her away, she comes back begging. Um, One of the times that she pushed her away, she met another girl who she has hit it off with. Um, but this other one kind of keeps coming back and coming back. And she's still in love with her. Um, Even after all that she did, apparently she's cheated with multiple people. She really likes the new girl, but she's not sure what to do.
Okay, it's multi-layered. First thing first, we're gonna talk about the marriage, which basically the husband is open enough to allow
Mhm.
his wife to, be in a relationship with somebody else. Um, so we're gonna keep the focus on the relationship, the extended part of the relationship that's
Mhm.
between the wife and the young lady. If Let me tell you something, different culture, different belief, different ways people see relationships. My first thing is if you are already in a relationship and you happen to, fall in love with somebody else and that person still don't understand the kind of sacrifices that you are making, you know what I mean, as far as being with her, my thing is I don't think it's worth it. Absolutely not. There's no need for me to open the windows of you coming into my life despite the fact that I'm already married and I'm giving you something that a lot of people don't have. If we're gonna talk about it in a wider level, you know what I mean. I'm letting you in my life, sharing my space, but on top of it, you can't make up your mind. That's the problem. I'm already in a relationship, and I need you to understand that if you're gonna be here, you have to stay with. There's no other. You're gonna meet this girl, we mad. You're gonna meet somebody else, and you're gonna fall in love. It's either you here or you're not. That's basically the best answer. Unless,
Okay.
unless I don't know what type of conversations they had. If she still has problem that she's still married, that's something else. And that's why I like questions like that. I want people to give me the full details as far as
Mhm.
where the husband is standing at this point. Is the husband doing the exact same thing? Or are they still married just to be married? What are the potentials when it comes to the first relationship, which is the
Mm-hmm.
one that she's still married in, and the relationship that she's trying to build or still falling in love with the outside. From
Mm-hmm.
that point, if the other girl does not understand the amount of sacrifices that she's making, she'll basically have to allow herself to let her go because she's not giving or understanding the things that the amount of effort that she's making or sacrifices that she's making in order for her to get in.
Okay. So to the young lady who sent us a message yesterday, there you go. All right, I've got another one that came through our messages. This is anonymous.
Hmm.
This is a gentleman asking, what do I do if my girlfriend for 4 years is always leaving and making plans with her friends, but when I make plans, she doesn't always want to do them. Sometimes it's like she prioritizes her friends over me, but she says she's in love with me.
Keywords. Keyword. We're basically going to pay attention to the keywords from each of those questions. Prioritize. If you're not priority to somebody's eyes, that automatically means that the person either don't love you or don't respect you. And respect and
Mm,
love literally comes together.
mhm,
When
mm,
somebody really loves you, they automatically gonna do everything in their power to respect you. And it comes automatically because they really love you. They don't want to hurt your feelings. Um, 2 months, I understand because sometimes people it takes time for people to shift. A year, I could still understand. 4 years, no. You are not the priority here, man. It's unfortunate. I'm here to tell. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it, telling you stuff that probably gonna put you in more of a fictional mindset. After 4 years, if you're still not the priority, you know what I mean. The way that I would assume that you are making her be the priority in your life, I don't think it's worth going crazy over it. It's time for you to have an actual conversation, understand exactly where she's at. What is it, what this relationship means to you? What do I mean to you? But at the same time, we also have to go with the corner of, and that's why sometimes when it comes to couples, I like to hear both stories, both sides of the story,
mhm,
because sometimes one person could come in and tell you exactly what they're going through, but there's a delivery mode. You don't know
mhm,
what's the pressure that comes with it. Um,
mhm.
um, all the things when it comes to a relationship between two people. But if it is asking the question, you are not the priority, and that's a problem because after 4 years, if you are still not the priority, the relationship's pretty much damaged.
Yeah. Y'all, some of these are going to be hard answers. They're going to be
Yeah.
hard answers. Okay, this is another one that came through anonymously.
Hmm.
And actually, I think you saw this. This came through Messenger, and I think you and I talked about this one.
Hmm.
Um, this young lady just got out of a relationship where the guy ditched her twice because apparently she's too broken to be with anyone. He told her she had to do therapy. He promised to stand by her, but he wasn't there. She suffers from PTSD due to her last relationship being abusive, anxiety and depression, self harm. The recent relationship had only lasted for 2 weeks because her gut was telling her something was wrong. She confronted him, and that's when he disappeared and blamed it on her mental stability. Um, let
Hmm.
me see if there's
Um,
any other facts here that we need. Is it safe to say that she screwed up the relationship? Is it safe to say that she should believe every single word he told her just because she feels like it's true?
this is the thing. We
That
definitely have to go to foundation from this one. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Anytime 2 weeks is not really a relationship for me. You're still within the dating process. You have
mhm,
a lot of get to know each other thing you're gonna have to do within that path. So you're still getting to know the person. You're still trying to break in even. I don't know if she was open to tell him some of the things that have happened in her life. If so, maybe the person could actually be looking out for her because there's one thing that you said, that he said as a key word, is that is going to stand by, you know what I mean, with her as she go through the healing process. Not every man or not every people, not everybody, not anybody that you just meet today is going to allow themselves to stick by you just by a 2 weeks relationship. If she is actually in need of healing, him telling her that I want to stay by you, I want to go through it with you, might actually be, you know, a real thing. It might probably really want to see where the relationship is going. If she's really sick, as me and you've been talking about,
Mm-hmm.
it's important that she goes through healing. The
Mm-hmm.
foundation of your next relationship starts from you allowing yourself to heal. If you're not healed enough, each relationship is going to be a problem. And that problem is going to be you. But at the same time, you won't be able to understand it because you are within the same pattern that you've been in for a long time. So, yeah, if it's only playing game with her, that's something different. Because sometimes people are going to use your words to tell you what you don't want to hear or just to excuse themselves from the relationship. If it's using her own words to tell, hey, you sick. We already had our fun. Let me just get out, because this is the language of a player. They'll always look for an exit point. From the point they get into your life, they're gonna find things to get out. That's one possibility. The second possibility, which is the positive one, if he's really interested in, understanding the process as far as staying by, you know what I mean, trying to help her heal, that's somebody she should at least consider the mindset of becoming friends.
It sounds to me based on the entire, the entire message that we received that he really put her down quite a bit and essentially told her, "You're just too broken for anybody, kind of nobody's going to want to be with you because you're too broken." And she's really internalizing that and questioning whether she should, kind of take that to heart. Should she really accept what this guy is saying?
The Some people are gonna, and that's the thing. One of the reasons why I started this channel wasn't to just be harsh to people
Mhm,
as far as them asking questions. It was more for me to go to the bottom of things. Let's go to
mm,
foundations. Let's go to the source of the problems. You know what I mean? Some people don't know how to release that truth. Just because you're saying it doesn't mean that you can't find a way to deliver it in a proper level. You know what I mean? Because if the person is actually broken, by you saying things like that to them, it's going to hurt them even more because they already know the situation. And at the same time, the way he's saying it, if for somebody who basically, I don't know, 2 weeks, like I said, is still within the dating process, maybe is not as attached as she would expect them to be, to the point where he's going to tell her things. Some of it could actually be true, but at the same time, like I mentioned, is an exit point. You know what I mean? Hey, I don't want you anymore. You're too broken. And this is not good because you're going to affect the person's mental even more by hearing things like that from you. And like I said earlier, sometimes that's why you do not want to overshare certain things, especially things that have happened in the past, childhood trauma or a past abusive relationship. The person could use that to their own benefit, to their own advantage, and to be harsh to you or to just find that as an exit point. So
mm,
from that point, anybody who's telling you things like that, you should never consider being in a relationship with them. That's me telling you the truth the way it is. Um, I've been married for a while now, and I still find the best diplomatic way to tell my wife certain things because I do care about her feelings. Um, 2 weeks is still within the honeymoon phase. You shouldn't even be going through that process. You know what I mean? If somebody's
mm,
really interested in you, really, they shouldn't be talking to you that way. And if whatever it is he thinks that is doing her a favor, it's not, because mental damage is a real thing, emotional damage is a real thing. And the more people get to be harsh and bad to you, they're only going to add up to the baggage that you already have. So no, don't even pursue that relationship. If you do understand that you need healing, you don't have to hear it from him. Just go through that process, look for different opportunities, new horizons, things that probably gonna help you understand who you are as a whole. Right now, maybe you need to stop dating, start dating yourself. You know what I mean?
mm,
Unbreakable has that. Unbreakable been doing that. She's a pro when it comes to dating herself. I think it's best for you to start booking that cruise that you always wanted to. Get some yoga classes. You know what I mean? Binge watch some stuff. Enjoy yourself a little bit. You don't need to be hearing things like that from a guy who probably is even more broken than you. Because anybody who's okay with talking to you that way is one person who probably still have some bullish situation going on in their head, or they just don't respect your space. To be honest with you, so no,
Mm,
let that go.
mm, mm. That's a hard one. We are going to jump over to some of our guests over here. We got some anxious people waiting for some questions. So let's take some of our live
All right.
questions. Team Nietzsche. Hi, Team Nietzsche. Me and my wife have been together for over 13 years. She left 7 to 8 months ago after 2 years of marriage because she said she needed space, but it's been this long now. I want to make it work. This kind of goes on a little bit. But she isn't around still and isn't sure if she wants this. She left the state and I just don't know what to do. She says she loves me but isn't in love, and I've tried to get that back, but she wants me to still be separated and or live in a different home while she figures out if she wants me or not. And yep, that looks like the end of that question.
13 years. Keyword. We have to think about that because 13 years is a long time. And first thing first, within a long-term relationship, there are multiple phases. You have the honeymoon phase, which is most likely 365 days or time two of that. And you have the time where you're really getting to know each other. Within that phase, that's basically the backbone of the relationship because that's what's going to help you determine 15 to 20 years later that you still want to be married with that person. Okay. The first thing that we're going to need to talk about is why she had to come up with the decision of separating herself from him in the relationship. That's the first thing. Why did she do that? It's not about, sometimes we are so focusing on, oh, let me fix the problem, but you don't know where the problem started. Let's go back to the bottom of it, like why she decided to leave. What's the real reason behind her leaving? And from that point, you're gonna use that as a token and trying to explain to yourself how you could fix that situation, which probably gonna give her, convince her enough to understand that you're really trying to change. I don't know if it's still in the comment why she decided to leave for the first place.
Team Nietzsche, if you're still here, go ahead and give us an idea in the comments on what Peace is asking. Is there a reason that she left initially that you can share with us that you're comfortable with sharing? And then we can kind of come back to that one.
Yeah.
Here is one from the quick live that I did last night, Peace. And I know you jumped on that last night. Shang was asking last night, why do people cheat?
Ooh. What's his name? Shane?
Shang.
Hey, back in the days growing up, when I did not understand anything about relationships, I used to think people cheat because they like what they see. The deeper you are in a relationship, the more you're gonna get in reasons as far as why people cheat. Should there be a reason? A lot of people are gonna tell you no. Mentally speaking, it doesn't work that way. Somebody could still want to be with you, but trying to fill up the void that's inside of the relationship. Is it good? No, it's not. That's the worst thing you could do because now you're building up another relationship with somebody. There's cheating to leave the relationship, and there's cheating just to cheat. People that basically cheat to leave the relationship, it's worse because they're trying to build something completely different. And that's why it's so many layers to it. People expect when they get, what's that?
Do people cheat? You said, to fill a void that they have within a relationship. I mean, is one of the reasons that they cheat because there's a void within themselves?
void within their expectations.
Oh, okay.
If the person expected, and that's why I always tell folks, let your action speak. Do not stop building up that image to people's head. And once they don't get that image, they automatically feel like, oh, you tricked me.
Mm,
That's an enough reason for people to start looking elsewhere because they're feeling disappointed. And if that void is not being fulfilled, that's when they start to build resentments. And that's when the things that they used to provide to you at the very beginning of the relationship, they don't feel the need to do it because you're not taking care of your part. That's also an enough reason for them to start looking elsewhere. Do they still love you? Do they still have expectations? Yes, they do. But that's already enough reasons for them to go out there. Because mentally speaking, not everybody is strong enough to be in relationships. Some
mm.
people will allow themselves to convince themselves because I'm always going to use the convince when it comes to cheating. Because if you really love somebody, the thought of you cheating is going to be difficult. That's me being honest.
That was deep.
There's a French song. What's that?
That was deep.
Yeah,
That was deep.
there's a French song that says, "I cannot hurt you because me hurting you automatically means that I'm hurting myself because
Mm,
I'm part of your heart." In English, that's what it translates to. So if I'm gonna be out there doing things that I know is gonna hurt me, gonna hurt you, it's gonna bounce back to me, and now I'm gonna be in more problem with myself. Therefore, if I love you, I'm gonna try and fix those problems. And that's why I said, mentally speaking, a lot of people are not saturated enough for them to have the full composure of an healthy relationship. And that's when we have to
mm,
go back all the way to background, how the person was raised, what is it exactly they saw their parents doing, what type of
mm,
environment they've been in. Like when it comes to cheating, there are so many reasons. Like, and it's not a man or woman thing.
mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
Destiny chimed in and said, "I believe it's a void within themselves also, because someone can do everything possible in a relationship, but if they aren't happy within themselves, oops, they're filling a void within themselves."
That's what I said, childhood trauma.
Yeah,
That's what I said,
yeah,
environment. That's what I
yeah,
said, you know what I
Destiny, I
mean?
agree. Mhm,
You know what I mean?
mhm,
That's why I'm going through the things that they've seen their parents doing. That's what I'm saying, that sometimes the person insecurities is one of the biggest reasons why people cheat.
mm,
Insecurities
mm,
within yourself. If I'm insecure enough, I'm gonna go with the mindset that I do not think I'm worthy enough to have you. Therefore, in my mind, I'm building up stories. You probably out there saying that you went to New York for a business trip and you out here doing what you're not supposed to do. This is my mind playing tricks on me because I'm insecure.
mm,
You know what I
mm,
mean? So within that path, some people are gonna start to find comfort in cheating on their partner because they're already fulfilling themselves with their own hurt. Like you hurting yourself. You're building up stories to the point where you've put yourself in the situation of hurting somebody who's just minding their business.
mhm.
You know what I mean? Yes, and she's totally right. The void could come both ways.
Well, I
The
think we could
void
do
could come both.
an entire live on cheating, on
Yeah,
infidelity.
yes, yes.
Right? Oh, hey, if y'all want to do an entire live on infidelity, hit us in the comments. We'll make that
Mm-hmm.
happen. Okay, we're back to Team Nietzsche. Team Nietzsche gave us some clarification, and as a reminder, he and his wife were together for 13 years. She left 7 to 8 months ago. She loves him, but isn't in love with him. And I saw his comment come in down here. She left because I messed up. I used to get attention from other women when I didn't get it at home. Now we fixed those issues from what she told me. We moved on and we're doing great up until we got married. Then she let people get in her ear saying I'm still that guy who flirts when all I did was show her I got better and was all for her. She mainly left because my past kept coming back into our future and she couldn't take it. He worked on doing better, but by that time, she was ready to leave, essentially.
Mm. I posted something stating that when it comes to non-negotiable, you have to you have to really know what you will be okay dealing with in a relationship and the things that
Mhm,
you won't be okay with. So
mhm.
from this situation alone, the one thing that I want to say is some people, for some people, it could be very difficult for them to forget or completely forgive. And that's one of those situations. You know what I mean? Because,
That's yeah. Yeah,
you
Team
know,
Niche, that's especially for a woman. I
yeah,
have to say, especially for a woman, because we are such sensitive creatures. We are such emotional creatures. And when we invest our time so much and our energy so much, and that's betrayed, as much as we care about someone, things just can't be the same.
it becomes a nightmare. It's like
Hmm.
it's like you looking at somebody and thinking about the things that they used to do.
Yeah.
At some point, it's still leaving a taste in your mouth. In your mouth, it's like, okay, will he ever do the same thing? And it's gonna
Hmm.
take. And to be honest with you, right now, if she's willing to go through therapy, I think she's gonna need the help of a professional to let that out. And if
Hmm.
she's willing to get back in a relationship, you guys have to really make sure that okay, from that point we're not going back there anymore. And she's not gonna be able to do it alone. And you pressuring her right now, it's not gonna make it easy because
Mm-mm.
what she's expecting is a lot more of showing her that you've changed completely. And right now, the image that she has that's still popping up, someone's gonna have to help her unpack all that. And the help of a professional might be beneficial. If you guys have
Mhm,
not been to couples therapy, trying to see if you get something, a little retreat or something like that. But you're gonna
mhm,
need the help of a professional because what's basically going through her head every time, each and every time she think about the marriage, each and every time she's thinking about you is the things that that you've probably done in the past that she's not able to move on from. So
would it be beneficial for him, Peace, to maybe say, "I understand where you're at, and I wanna respect where you're at, so I'm not gonna talk about, the getting back together or, rekindling. We're just gonna, kinda be friends at this point," and just would that be beneficial, do you think?
that would be beneficial. Depends because this is the
There's still
thing.
no guarantees, we know. There's still no guarantee,
My
but
my thing is I don't want her thought to put her in a different path
mm,
because she's separated. She's a different state, a different house, different city. Someone could be depending of how broken she is, mentally speaking. Unfortunately, we have to talk about it the way it's supposed to.
mhm.
Um, the people talking in their ears, that's another problem because they're not gonna say anything else. But he cheated on you. You need somebody better than that. That's it. Somebody better than.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying? Despite the space that you're supposed to give her, at the same time, giving too much space if you really want that relationship to work is also a problem. Um, Definitely trying to see if you guys could go to therapy. That's the first thing. Have a good conversation with her. Let her know that you are a changed man. You know what I mean? If you are really, because sometimes, and that's why I like to have a face expression because sometimes what the client would be telling me and what's actually going on is going to come out on your face. I'm going to see that
mhm.
you haven't changed your pattern because if you have not changed your patterns, if she realized that you're still doing sneaky stuff, that's going to add up to the damage. And I was raised by a strong woman, and I know that women are strong creatures. Like I'm not just going around it. The same way men are, women are very strong. A woman will hold on to a relationship for the longest as much as she can. But there are things once they go above the expected motion, they're gonna have to walk away, despite how much they love you. And that's another thing. It's not like she doesn't love him,
Mhm,
because a lot of people would just go with a divorce.
mm,
They separate. That's
mm,
why. Keyword. Separate. There's still
mhm,
hope. Within that path, it's up to you now to use that to your own advantage to make things happen.
Team Niche said she didn't want to go to therapy. I asked her. I went alone. I think it's beneficial for him to continue going alone.
Yeah,
Can just
continue.
continue going alone. Keep the focus
Worst
on himself.
worst case, worst case. After a while, depending how long she's been out, there's a good possibility that things might not go back to the way they were. So I want you to
Yeah.
keep that in the back of your head. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
sometimes like that, especially after 13 years, 2 years, 3 years, there's a lot of you that the person might not know. 13 years is a while, it's a good amount of time. So worst case, like Unbreakable says, keep your mind open to the possibilities of you becoming single. That's the worst case. And for the next person that you're gonna date or you're gonna be with, understand that do not give them any patch of insecurity. Because if unfortunately, God forbid, you ended up not being in that relationship, change your patterns. Don't give them any reasons to ever think that you would be cheating on them. And keep building yourself. Keep going to that therapy. Keep getting to know yourself and understand one of the reasons why you let that void get into your head to the point where cheating was one of the things that you did. Okay?
Destiny, I love your comments. Destiny says the truth definitely hurts. I think we all know the answers to our own questions. We just aren't ready for the truth. Y'all, this is going to be hard for some people. This is definitely going to be hard for some people. Peace is the expert, and sometimes, we have to hear those hard words. Y'all have heard me talk about it a lot. We've got to have those honest, hard conversations with ourselves. So Team Niche, hopefully that helps. Stay in therapy. Stay in therapy. Stay in
Yes.
therapy. We had a question last night from Kiara. Kiara wants to know, how do you handle your spouse not protecting you?
Protecting you in which way? Because protection is very wide.
I didn't get Kiara, if you're on, can you give us a little elaboration on that one?
Because protecting could be
Let's
financially.
take it from because I've got experience on this. Let's take it from an emotional perspective. So, not defending you, not standing up for you, not coming to your defense, if people are saying negative things about you. Let's take it from that aspect.
From that aspect, y'all need to talk. From that aspect, you guys need to have a conversation.
Mhm.
I'm overprotective. Anything that I love, oof, I don't play with that.
Mhm.
I do not
Mhm.
play with that. Let me tell you something. Y'all need to start thinking about relationships the way it's supposed to be. Don't allow anybody to come into your life and not playing their parts. I don't care who you are, even Jesus. If you are in a relationship with Jesus right now, talk to Jesus. Let him know this is how you want to be treated. If he doesn't know, let me teach you how I want you to treat me. Like protection. This is, let me tell you, it's something that both people depends on. But society put it as men is supposed to protect you. That's one of the first job that you got. I come here, I'm your protection. I
Mhm.
need to protect you, your emotions. I need to protect you in front of people's eyes, before and behind your back. I need to protect you financially. I need to protect your mental. I need to protect your happiness. I need to protect all of that. This is me. So yeah, if it's not protecting you, it's a problem. Have that conversation because sometimes people might not know how to protect. That's another thing, and that also
Hmm.
goes all the way back to how the person was raised. We have to think about all that too. You know what I mean? So let them know. Hey, this is what I've noticed. Blah blah blah. Have those uncomfortable conversations, people. Don't just sit there and then think the person is supposed. You know what I mean? Just go ahead, go deep with it. Because if you really want that relationship, if you don't talk about it now, 5, 10 years later, you're gonna be in the market again because of that one uncomfortable conversation.
Hmm.
Talk about it.
So important. Communication is so important. Honest communication is so important.
Honest communication with understanding. Because
Mm.
somebody you could talk, 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 talk,
Mhm.
talk. It's gonna come from here to there.
Oh, that's key. I like that piece. I'm going to take another question from last night, and then Jamie, you, my darling, are up next. Aretha from last night asked, "How do I know if he is really interested in me?"
A guy who's really interested in you, it goes also with different culture. If you guys are within the same culture, you understand the type of fresh air that this guy brings to your life. It's gonna be different.
Mm,
It's gonna be different. Like something I like to say is when you are next to that person, you feel like you're home. That's the
mm, mm.
anytime you with somebody, the TV could be off, you could be in a desert, anywhere. You're next to that person, you feel home. And anytime a guy or a woman comes into your life and they're about serious business, they really want the relationship to work, they really love you, they will do everything in their power. I mean, like you you sit there in the mirror looking at yourself like, wow, I never experienced love like that before. That's when you know something is different.
So there wouldn't, I mean, if this is a truly healthy relationship of two people coming together, you're not even going to be thinking, is this guy really into me? Because you're going to
Sometimes people
know.
do. Sometimes people do. Because sometimes compared to what you are used to,
Mhm. Mhm.
you don't know if the person is faking. Because we have to
Mhm.
talk about narcissists.
Mhm.
Narcissists have the best way to make you think that they are Mr. Perfect.
Mhm.
But narcissists also are faking it. So if somebody's faking it, there's one way for you to identify somebody faking it is with time. You can't
Yeah.
fake it for a year.
Mm-mm.
You won't last
Mm-mm.
that.
Mm. This is a perfect lead in to Jamie's question. Jamie is on live with us today,
Okay.
and it looks like it's a couple of sections here. I need help with letting go of a narcissistic behavior on social media with verbal assaults, slander, and accusations towards me. I have blocked him, cut all communications with him, but continues. And I think this goes on. She's also going through a divorce with this person. Constantly sent through social media threats and bullying from this person. I am out of this relationship on my part, emotionally and physically, and that looks like the end of her questions there.
Hurry up and finish the divorce.
Ooh, ooh, Jamie. Woo.
Hurry up and finish up the divorce. Because any contact, any reach they have with you right now is because maybe they think you still married or whatever the situation is. The first thing about narcissists is that they feed off of the emotional response they're getting from you. At the end of the
Mm,
day, going through a divorce is definitely devastating. Of course, you're gonna go through moments where at some point you wish you never had to go through, especially if you were the one loving them more than they loved you. Especially example of a narcissist, that's basically what it is in most cases.
mm, mm.
Hurry up and finish that divorce and start living your life right after that. Don't
Yeah,
even think about it. Start living.
yeah. Jamie.
You have a lot of healing to do, baby.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jamie, if there's any physical threats, protect yourself. Get a
Yeah.
restraining order. Protect yourself. Protect your safety. But yes, no contact. Peace is absolutely correct. Finish that divorce and no contact.
Yep.
None. Zilch. Whew. Whew. All right, we're gonna go to for one from last night, and then we have Jennifer. Jennifer, you're on deck, darling. You're next. All right, Carrie Louise from last night. Oh, this is a really good one. I've been waiting for you to answer this one. You ready?
Ready.
I have found out about myself that I'm emotionally unavailable. How do I change this problem? Because I'm attracting the wrong ones and I'm attracted to the wrong ones.
Patterns. Bad patterns. What took your
Emotionally
emotion from
unavailable.
the first place? What took your emotions away from the first place? What did you
Mm,
experience to the point where you were not emotionally available? What took that away from you? Because
mm,
anybody without emotion is going to be difficult for them to be in a relationship. Or are you not emotionally available because you haven't met the one that you really love?
So many of these, so many of I'm just hearing in all of your answers piece, so many of these tie right back to self-healing,
Yeah,
self-reflection,
yeah,
self-care.
yeah. And my dad usually says something. He said, "Everybody's romantic for the right person." I used to be
Mm,
like, okay, like somebody are just not romantic. Because I know clingy. Nah. You think you don't want to be cuddled? Wait till you find the right person. You'll be all up in that person. Like, oh yeah, I want you. Blah blah blah. I need a hug. I need this. Wait to find that person. That's one of the things. If you're not completely invested within the relationship, whatever people's lifestyle or whatever that you're doing on the regular, that's one situation. But
mhm.
if you need to heal, you need to take that away as soon as possible because within that path of you meeting people, what if you meet the right person, your
Mm,
soulmate, somebody you were supposed to spend the rest of your life with?
mhm.
That person is gonna go within the pack of people that you're not showing emotions. And not showing emotion is one of the biggest problems in relationships because the person automatically gonna think that you don't care about
Carrie, I hope you're on and I hope you got the answer to your question. Jennifer, hello, darling. I met my boyfriend when he was separated. He lived here, she was out of state for 2 years. I encouraged him to go back, make sure he wanted a divorce. He did. Now he wants to come back. He's having a problem telling her because it will devastate her. I understand, but should I let him come back or let him go since he can't just do it? His family even knew we were in love. We were together a year and a half. That's Jennifer's question.
it. Separated. Remember we talked about that. When we say separated, there's a good possibility of us getting back together. Do not get yourself in the middle of it. And let me tell you, people, if the guy goes to his wife every night, you don't need a relationship with them. If they are separated, not divorced, you don't need a relationship with them. If they already have kids still working in a relationship, you don't need a relationship with them. Now you're confused trying to understand what you're supposed to do while the person is not capable of telling his wife what he really wants to do. Because right now, mentally speaking, is still struggling because he made the foundation with somebody else while he already had a foundation. Tell him you'll always be available until he's done. That's gonna save you a lot. If it's really you're not pressure, don't pressure anybody because if they already have kids, this is a child who's gonna grow up probably without a father. That's gonna be on you at some point. This is a wife who's gonna get into a divorce and have to do a bunch of other stuff as a single mother. This is gonna be part of it's gonna be on you. Tell him right now, I want you, you want me, I understand that. That's understood. Are you still married? Yes. Yes, you are separated, whatever you want to call it. On paper, you're still married. If I go and get married with you right now, it's not going to be a marriage because you're still married with somebody else. From that
Mhm.
point alone, I need you to take care of your business. Take care of your business. Get it done. If everything that you're saying is true, take care of your business. I'm going to be here.
Ooh, y'all, we didn't promise roses and chocolates. It's hard talk. I see Wish Sophie is here. Hello, gorgeous.
Yeah.
She's jumping in, giving some excellent advice. All right, let's go to this one. This one was very personal for me last night. You ready,
Okay.
Peace?
Okay.
Okay. Laura from last night. One child calls stepdad dad for 6 years. Parents separate after having another child. Does the stepdad stay a stepdad or do they get to leave that child and only be with the new biological child?
Mm. What's the relationship between between her and the stepdad. You done?
Let's see if she commented further. Laura, if you're on, can you drop in the comments? Let's see.
Because this is the thing. If
I
the
think
guy is
she's
still
separated. I think she is separated from the dad,
from the dad,
from the
they
stepdad,
do have
excuse
a
me.
child together, though, right?
It looks like they have a child together. So it looks like what I'm understanding from Laura's questions last night, she had a child prior to that relationship. That child
Mhm.
was essentially being raised by stepdad for 6 years. They had a child together, and now stepdad is gone, only spending time with the biological child, but not the child that he was with for 6 years, his stepchild.
Um, I would say keep it like that until it's time to change it. It's gonna be
You would do what?
difficult.
Say that again? Say that
I would
again?
say keep it like that until it's time to change it. Because right now, telling a child that, oh, this is not your dad, that's all this
Mm,
child known for 6 years.
mhm,
That's devastating.
mm,
And is gonna see if you guys didn't have kids together, that's different. But you guys already have kids together, a child together. So he's gonna be seeing his dad, because in his mind, that's his dad. That's not his
yeah,
stepdad. I'm
yeah,
gonna see my dad interacting with my little brother or my little sister, but he's not interacting with me.
mhm,
Now you're telling me that that's not my dad? Mentally speaking, that's a problem.
mm,
Let
mm,
it flow. Don't even change that. You say
mhm,
anything to that child, you're gonna cause a lot of problems. Let the
mhm,
child be with his dad. When you're sending the one that the biological one with, send the step one to. There's no step one. Let's not even talk about step one.
no,
Send
these
both
are
of his
this person's kids. Yeah,
children to him. Yeah.
yeah,
Send his kids
yeah.
to him. Yeah.
Wish So Free commented and said, "If you filled the role of dad for 6 years, you are a dad,"
That's
in
it.
bold. "You will
Hmm.
mentally scar that child if you cut them off and only maintain a relationship with the new child." I agree. Absolutely. Laura, hopefully we got that question answered for you. Let's see. Let's go back in our comments here. Let me catch up where I'm at. We got thank yous coming, peace. Lots of thank yous for the questions that we've answered thus far. Excuse me,
You're
that you've
welcome. You're
answered.
welcome, guys.
You've answered.
You help too. Come on.
This is your show, boy. I'm just fielding the questions. Wish So Free commented, some people are more comfortable in long-term relationships and fear the commitment of marriage. Ooh, we do have a question. Wish So Free, thank you, because I do have a question that's coming up with regards to that.
Okay.
Let's see. Sorry, Peace. These look a little different than they do online.
No problem.
Okay, Destiny. Destiny's been so vocal. Let's get Destiny's question. Is there
Okay.
such a thing as being too emotional in a relationship, or is it just a narcissist's way of overlooking your thoughts and emotions, making your feelings feel irrelevant?
Too emotional? No. Too emotional in a positive way? No. Too emotionally sensitive in a negative way? Yes. But for that question, I'm definitely gonna. If we're talking about narcissists never look at things in a positive way. So, yeah, there's no such thing. You only this is whenever you are emotionally available in a relationship, that means you really want that relationship to succeed. That's what it means. And if the person is not matching your level of emotional connection, that's their problem. And of course, a narcissist will say things like that because they will try to defend themselves. That's what narcissists
Mm,
do.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Destiny, you were on last night, darling, because I'm getting ready to read one of your questions from last night.
Mhm.
And this one made me giggle. And there was some person in the comments that was just, we'll talk about
Yeah.
that person later. So, Destiny had a question last night. My grandmother always told me they're all assholes. Do you remember that
No.
comment last night?
Yeah, no, not all men all, you know.
They're not. So pick one and deal with their shit. I can honestly say I did not follow her advice, but starting to think she was right. How do you feel about that?
Um, the complete opposite. Understand that with that mentality, it's gonna be difficult for you to see the good in people. Take that thing away from you. Like you
Mm-hmm.
don't need it. You don't need to be thinking about that. Um, there are a lot of people, not just men. There are a lot of people that are not good, and sometimes it's not their fault because sometimes they don't even know why they are reacting the way they are reacting. But there are a lot of good men. There are a lot of good men. I usually tell people if you keep dating men that are not treating you right, maybe you need to start choosing better people. You need to try to start changing the pattern. And as unfortunate it might be, sometimes it's easy for you to fall in love with what you used to because that's what you used to. That's what you know. It's like your favorite food. Any restaurant you go, you expect to eat the same thing because that's what you really like.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to relationship, that's going to affect you mentally more, and that's going to affect your emotion. And you're going to realize that, oh yeah, I wasted my time. It's the same thing over and over. And that's why I always tell folks, maybe you have a little toxic in you without understanding that it's still in you. That would
Mm.
go back again to healing. If you keep dating the same person, keep going through the same process, at some point you have to realize that you have an eye for the same type of people. How do you change that? Reset. You need to reset. That's what healing does for people.
Mm-hmm.
Healing helps you love yourself more to the point where, from the very beginning, you will understand if somebody really loves you or if they are playing games. Because it's going to open up your eyes to the things that you really like, the real you.
You did a post on the page, I think it was this week, just exactly along those lines that if you don't heal, you're going to keep meeting the same, I think it said the same demons, just a different face.
That's it. You're going to keep meeting the same people, different faces.
Mm-hmm. Mm, mm.
And
Y'all,
you're probably gonna keep thinking that, oh yeah, oh no, it's a pile of bad oranges. You keep picking up the same bad oranges.
yeah. Miss Carib Queen, my darling, you're going to be right up next after this question from last night. Andrew, last night. This is this. I don't know that it's necessarily a relationship question piece, but he touched my heart last night, and I would love for you to touch on it. Andrew
Okay.
wanted to know what happens when your soulmate dies of cancer.
Whew.
What what do you do?
You have to you have to keep telling yourself right now she's in a better place. He or she is in a better place. As unfortunate as events like that happen in our lives, they are not expected in most cases. You know, we don't want them to happen. But he or she is in a better place.
Mm,
And right now, holding on to the memories of someone who's no longer with you is not going to help you move because this person is not going to be able to give you closure because they are not around. As unfortunate it might be, you have to understand that practicing the mindset of understanding this person is never going to be in front of you or kissing you, touching. Allow yourself to understand that one thing. It's time for you to let go. It's going to be difficult. How do you let go? Trying to, like I said, especially after a relationship like that, it's not like the person is still alive. It's not your fault. There's a lot of people think that at some point there's something they could have done to keep the person alive. There's nothing you could have done. Sometimes things happen that are completely out of our reach. They happen and we have to accept them. That's the first step to let go. Learn to accept the things that are naturally done. From that point, you'll understand that maybe you'll find the next person who will be able to love you the way that you expected her to love.
mm. And self-care.
Self
Self-care.
care. Self care. It's on you right now. You have to. You have. We're really sorry to hear that, but you have to. You have to let go. It's difficult. It's gonna take time. It's not a process
Mm,
that's gonna happen from today to tomorrow. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Um, Start investing time in yourself. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Enjoy nature more. Understand that right now you're still alive. There's still a lot of opportunities. Think
Mm-hmm.
about the last words this person probably have told you. Because in situations like that, I'm pretty sure this person will tell you that, hey, I want you to have fun. I want you to live life. You still have that option. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be difficult, but if you follow the process of getting out of that and keep opening up to new opportunities, new horizons, get to know yourself a little bit more as far as understanding exactly that life goes on. You'll wake up one day and realize that it actually feels better that you know she's not with you in person, but she's still around and she's in a better place.
Mm. Hopefully Andrew heard that. Hopefully he's here and he heard that. That one touched my heart last night.
Hmm.
Miss Carib Queen. This one's interesting, Miss Carib Queen. I'm not sure that this question is necessarily for you personally. So it says, please help me to clearly argue my point on why it's not good for a 42-year-old woman to be in a relationship with a 20-year-old man, even with neither of them having kids.
Where's that? Where's this not good? We live in a different society, different mindset, different culture, different ways that people see people. Love is love, people. I'm not. I'm gonna be honest with you. If somebody is honest enough, if somebody really loves you, if the person is not playing game, don't get me wrong. There's a maturity level that people gonna think about, but maturity don't come with age. I know a lot of 50-year-old men that still act like they're 16, dress like they're 16, talk like they're 16, spend money like they're 16. You know what I mean? And you cannot bring them to reason. And I know a lot of 25-year-old who already own the house. How do you think that happened? Old souls. That's what we call it.
Mm,
20 to 40. Don't get me wrong. I'm never gonna tell somebody to date a 90-year-old while you're still in your 20s. At this point, everybody gonna see that you're doing it for the life insurance money or for the money to begin with. But if we're gonna be completely honest with with this whole situation, that gap is not a huge of a gap because we've been seeing it far too often, especially in today's society.
mm,
If you really love the person, if the person really love you, go for it. Or whatever kind of relationship you have, you know what I mean? But understand, I always talk like that. There are facts and there are love. And there's love. The fact is, as 20-year-old, you have to understand that your 40 or 50-year-old a partner, physically speaking, won't be able to do a lot of things for you. Have those conversations.
mm.
You know what I mean? Like going to the club, giving you a baby. There's a lot of things that come with it. So don't just fall in love because she's giving you the adult way of life. And a lot of people also go with the mindset of um, doing spontaneous stuff, being nasty, you know, filling up the fantasies. Make sure this person is not coming in your life for those things. But if
We have some comments saying at 20 he should be dating for fun and learning experiences. She should be dating for marriage. They aren't even on the same maturity level.
yeah, they're not. This is the thing. That's the I was just reading that comment too.
Mm,
That's what most people expect. That's what most people expect. There's a lot of men that are in their 70s that are still dating 40-year-old, 30-year-old women.
mm-hmm. And younger and younger.
And I'm telling you,
Yeah,
that's the
that's a whole nother
reality.
reason. That's a whole nother
The
reason.
you know what I mean? Like
Let's get
like
real.
for whatever. Let me tell you, if this is what you feel like doing, do it. But like it says in the comment, you should at 20, you should definitely be having fun. Okay, you should definitely be
Mhm,
getting to know yourself.
mhm,
Um, but whatever you choose to do, is it possible? The possibilities of a 29-year-old dating a 40-year-old? Yes,
mhm,
it's possible. I've seen it happen. And I still have hope for those people. Have they found love? If they did, good for them. 29 going to 30, 40, come on. 11 years, there's still potential. What I'm gonna say is, if you like 25 and then you're going for 50, that's a heck of a gap. You know what I mean? Um, but my
I'm
judgment, this is the thing.
I'm 52 and I am sure as hell not interested in little 20-year-olds. Like,
That's my
I'm
thing.
so far beyond that. I'm
There are
so
people
far.
who don't have that mindset. There are
Right.
women
True.
out
True. True.
there are women out there who do not have that mindset. And there are
Mhm.
young men out there who will tell you that, yeah, I don't have any problem to date an older woman. And people will think it's all about money, and it's not. I've also seen a lot of young ladies being okay with dating older men. There's
Mm.
a cultural difference in it too. The more aware you are as far as the things that you really want, the more you find the best way to get with somebody who is within your same age. But
Mm.
a lot of people are okay with dating older people.
Okay. Carib Queen, I'm not sure if that's the answer that you were looking for.
We talk about both ways. You know what I mean? We have to
It,
keep it honest.
I don't, y'all hear me say it all the time. There's no one size that fits all. I mean, there's so many different factors that fall into relationships, except
Because
for
like which
narcissists. They follow
like
a
which
manual.
Sophie says, a lot of people, my son at 20, I expect him to be having fun. And
Hmm.
sometimes my wife will be like, please. Well, I'm like, I want him to be having fun. This is what I want him to be doing. You know what I mean? He has his little
Safe
car,
and
he's doing his
smart,
thing. You know
but
what I mean?
fun.
So, you know what I mean? Is out here being a smart nerd. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Enjoying his life. He's in college. He's doing. This is my expectation. You know what I mean? But there are other people who's like, you know what? I think I've been feeling this 40-year-old lady, and I'm falling for it. Do
Hmm.
not stay away from that possibility as well.
Okay. We had one last night piece, and
Mm-hmm.
this poor gentleman, his name is Brandon, and
Yep.
Brandon was just over and over, please answer my question, please answer my question, please answer my question. So I think Brandon is really hurting right now. So hopefully Brandon is on. We told him we would definitely address this. Me and
Uh-huh.
my wife just separated after being together for 9.5 years. I got my own place and she stayed at the house. Haven't even filed the divorce papers yet. I found on her messenger that she's been hanging out with a guy that she works with and messaged one of her girlfriends saying that she just went and visited her friend and that he knows what to say and what to do. I asked her if she was messing around or talking to anyone, and she denies it and said that they are just friends. He makes her smile, that it doesn't mean that she's sleeping with him. I'm not a believer. What's your look on the situation?
Okay. One of the main reasons why people are not able to fix a relationship when cheating is involved is because the cheater lies about it too much.
Mm,
Cheating is one thing. Lying about cheating is another thing. If you another for the relationship to get back to what it is, I'm gonna need you to be honest. And this is what's missing within this puzzle. She's not being honest. Because if you're gonna tell your friend saying things like it did it this, it did it that, but when the person asks you about it, you denied it, you automatically die lying about what I already know. What I would tell him is to have the type of conversation that's not exactly going to happen within the time that he found out something. Don't just have and this is something that I think a lot of people need to do. When you first find out about something, emotionally speaking, you are devastated. And the way that you're going to approach your partner, you might not be able to really have a full sit down with them. It's always good to have those conversations with a low temperature. Hey, I really need to talk to you. By the time you get home, I'd like to have that conversation. You sit
This
down with
one,
them.
though, they're separated. They're already
They are,
separated,
oh
living in
yeah,
separate households. And he didn't give us any indication on why the separation happened.
we have the reason.
No, no, the messenger happened after.
Oh, okay. Oh, she's moving on then.
Yeah. So we don't know why they separated, and he's
Okay,
upset. He's upset that she's talking to a friend.
we done. This is the thing. In the situation we had earlier, the lady separated. Friends and families, friends and family members were in her head, but there was never text messages or anything that is noticed that she was doing. In Brandon's case, she's already left the boat. I'm
Mhm.
just gonna say that, like, separation. People don't understand separation. Some people don't understand separation as what it is. When you're separate within a marriage, my understanding is that okay, I need a break. I need to rethink my options without doing anything crazy. I want to go to the beach by myself and think for myself. Okay. I need to go on a vacation. I need to relax without you being next to me. That's gonna help me think exactly what I need for this relationship. That's separation. When you're already talking to somebody else, you've already crossed that bridge. Brendan, please finish the divorce. For ask for a divorce or something like that.
Mhm. Yeah, they've got the divorce paperwork, but neither has filed. And
N- know when
yeah,
to let go, man.
he ended with, I told her if that's the game she wants to play, then fine. We can play that game because I'm not going to just put my life on hold and sit around and wait for her.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, that's
I
it.
think it's done.
Just get it over with.
Yeah.
Because this is the
Yeah.
first one you see. You don't know what else the person is doing, especially if they're hiding it.
Let me check our live guests. Make sure we addressed all of these. I see you looking two piece. Do you see any in there that I've missed? Because we've still got plenty on from last night. Destiny, it's always so nice seeing you. Can I just say that?
Because some people were just agreeing. Jamie was saying when you're married and you're separated, no matter what you choose to do, either go back to the relationship or get a divorce, you are still married regardless of even if you're going toward a divorce. But yeah, you're still married. On paper, you're still married. And
Mm-hmm.
if you really want if you want the relationship to work, you wouldn't be doing anything crazy. That's the best definition. If she wanted the
Yeah.
relationship to work, she would have already be on the market. She's already be on
Mm-hmm.
the market.
Mm-hmm.
That's a done deal.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah. She's done. Okay, we have a question from Taylor from last night.
Hmm.
My friend's boyfriend has been texting his baby mama. She lives in another state, but my friend has text messages. Should my friend confront him or just leave him?
What type of messages? Because as a baby mother, we have that connection, we have that relationship until the end of time. What type of message? If the message are bad, which most cases that's why people usually ask things like that. If the message was bad or bad, confront him about it. Hey, what's going on between you and your baby? You know, what are you guys doing? Because I've seen you guys been texting back and forth. Do you still want to be with him? And I always say things like that. A relationship between a mom and the father, sometimes before you dive yourself in, you need to really know what type of relationship they had and what the type of
Mhm.
relationship they still have. Because sometimes you getting yourself in a relationship like that, thinking that the person is over the ex, because this is not the ex you can just not think about it. This is an ex you have a child with. You said you have. That's why a lot of people will tell you straight up, "I do not date people who already have kids." And some people will think like, you know what, you're selfish for that. Sometimes they don't want to go with the trouble of dealing with baby moms, or baby dads. They don't know how crazy
Mhm.
the person is. They don't know what type of relationship you still have with the person. They don't know exactly what you built. From that point, there's no need for me to initiate myself into something that's gonna end up into failure.
Mm-hmm.
Confront him. What's up? What's all this all about? You know what I mean? And if it comes, whatever it is, let him know. If you really want this relationship, you're gonna have to tell me what is it that you're gonna have to do. What is it that I'm gonna have to do as far as me staying or leaving? Because if you still want your baby mother, fine. Your baby's gonna be around his daddy more. Y'all gonna be a family again. That's up to you. But from that point, you're gonna need his words. So by the time you make a decision, for people to be like, "Oh yeah, you just decided to leave me." No, I already give you my ultimate. It's either I stay or you go back to your baby's mom. That's all it is.
Okay. Here is another one from last night from Tracy. I like this one a lot. I've been dating the same guy for almost 2 years. We almost immediately fell in love and we are still growing strong. We discussed getting married, but our last relationship, excuse me, was such a disaster and we are so happy now. We hesitate. Do you think marriage is so important that we should take the leap or just stay living together? I'm happy, he's happy. It's more important to our families, and we don't want to lose out on certain benefits being married has legally.
If okay, hesitation is one thing you cannot associate with marriage. If both of you are already feeling hesitant about it, we shouldn't be even thinking about getting married right. Because the minute you put the law into it, it changes the entire aspect. I'm just gonna throw that
Mm,
out there. Things are not as easy as just we're done with the relationship.
mm,
You
mm-mm,
become one.
mhm.
Okay. When they're calling the Caesar. They're calling the Francois. They don't just call you. You know what I mean? It's you and your wife. And what I'm trying to say is, if the thought of getting married right now is putting you into multiple mindsets, as far as I don't know if it's gonna work, I don't know what's gonna happen. What if we get married? This happened. This you're already too hesitant. Don't even think about it. Let it go. When you guys are ready, it'll come to you automatically. Because if it was just one person, that's different. But if it's the two of you, no go.
I like that response. I agree. I absolutely agree. And you know what family members say is not important. I mean, yes, we love our family, we respect our family, we value their opinions, but ultimately it's just an opinion,
I
right?
expect family members to say stuff if I'm in an abusive relationship. I don't
Mm,
know what's being done to me, and be like, I think at some point something bad's gonna happen to you. That you're looking out for me. Me being hesitant to get married because things are really good right now has absolutely nothing with what family members have to say.
mhm.
Because I know a lot of people, and I'm gonna say it again, a lot of people, they were good together before marriage. The minute they get married, they get a divorce after that.
Yeah. Wish So Free said, "Don't get married to appease your family." Oh, it jumped on me. Do it because you want to, but at the same time, don't let your failed relationships spoil what you're building.
Well,
Learn from the past. Don't lean on it. I like that.
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another thing. The failed relationships. Yeah, because sometimes you really have to let go of your past relationships to actually enjoy your new relationship. I remember posting something like that. Do not let what happened in your past relationship spoil what you got going on in your relationship, your present relationship. Because sometimes people keep thinking about the things they've dealt in the past relationships and put it as also some type of expectations as far as what probably going to happen in the next day. Do not do that,
Mhm.
because you're dragging the wrong path into something that's clean.
All right. Kimmy May from last night. It's been 6 years. How do I let him go? Left him 6 years ago. 2 weeks later, he got with an internet stranger. They are married, but I still can't let him go. How do I let him go?
Healing. You need to you need to find something else to do, lady. Like, that's the hard truth. This man is not thinking about you. Even if he was thinking about you, from the point that you left, he already got somebody else. Whatever it is that he was doing with you was already not good enough for him, to the point where he's already gone with somebody else. You don't need to be thinking about him. And if you go back to that person, you're gonna waste your time. That's what I said. Selfish feelings sometimes can put you in a different position. Yes, if you go to him right now, I could bet you my bottom dollar, he's probably gonna cheat on whoever he's with. He's probably gonna give you a good time, and you're probably gonna think that he's falling in love back with you, but it's not the case. You have to let him go. Let him go. Let him go. This is not your cup of tea anymore. He's gone.
Self care, self care, self care, self care. All right. So we've got a couple of more here from last night.
Okay.
One that I'm really looking forward to. And I sent you a message afterwards and told you I was really looking forward to it. And I think you sent me a message back.
Yeah.
Courtney from last night said, I really like my boyfriend and I can't seem to get past the past from asshole men and I'm trying to change it. I'm getting better. How do I overcome this?
Is he giving you a new him?
We don't have any additional information.
If the person, this is the thing, and similar to what we talked about. If a guy used to be, I don't know, a player back in the days, and you guys got together, yes, he made some mistakes, and you decided to stick around, and this person is showing you that is really trying to become something better. Keep working with him. And situations like that, I always tell people, stop judging yourself to think that, okay, I still stay with him despite what he did. Because that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are not allowing themselves to move forward, because they keep thinking about what you let fly at the very beginning and of the relationship, to the point where this thing is still hunting. If you're gonna tell somebody that I forgive you, understand the meaning of the word forgiving. And from that point, block any actual thought that's gonna keep you from moving forward with that relationship. So right now, the best way, if he is actually working, doing things to give you a better version of himself, you have to allow the possibilities of him being a changed person that's basically going to be better for the relationship in the future. But if it's giving you the same pattern, at this point you got to go, because the person hasn't changed.
We've got Jamie in the comments.
Is that
Jamie said her significant other, not even 7 days after separation, got on a plane, flew to meet his lady, and went on a live podcast in front of a lot of people, but denies cheating, shared photos, and changed profile photo to both of them. He denied it until he was tired of hiding their relationship and said, I was not going to keep him from their happiness. And now his current girlfriend believes she has say in what is going on between me and my soon to be ex husband. Do I need to continue with my gut instincts on this?
sounds like somebody was already moving on? Is
Mm,
that what I'm hearing?
sounds like it.
Yeah, that's the signs I'm getting right now.
Mhm.
If it's soon to be your ex-husband, pursue the pathway to becoming your ex-husband, because I'm pretty sure people don't just get divorced for no reason. I'm assuming people divorcing somebody is because you've had enough of the things that you were already dealing with. From that
Mm,
point alone, maybe this guy was already a cheater. Because if it's moving on to the point of doing all the stuff, I'm gonna assume that this guy never wanted to be with you from the get go, or at some point it decided not to be with you anymore. Finalize the divorce, get it over with. And sometimes I know emotional feelings, you're still connected with the person, but if the person is
mhm,
not connected to you, there's absolutely nothing you can do.
mm.
You're gonna have to, hey, this is it. Unfortunately, I would expect something else to happen, but it's not the case. Right now, it's time for me to move on.
Mhm. Jamie, I was in a similar situation at the end. Now, of course, my relationship was doomed, being an abusive relationship, but there was infidelity at the very end, and she really was involved in a lot when we were going through that process. You've got to focus on yourself
Yeah, that's what she said.
over
She
and
said,
over.
most definitely have had enough of his
Yeah,
lying and cheating.
yeah.
That's what it is.
Focus on
He's
yourself.
been cheating. Yep.
Focus on yourself. Yeah. All right, peace. I think I've got one more, and then I think we're gonna save some for tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, this one, and this is the one I've been waiting for.
Hmm.
Okay. Cynthia and I had a question. I was asking for a friend. I'm single, have been for over 3 years, tried dating sites, not good. Took this time to know myself, love being independent. I'd love to meet someone, but I need someone who's going to give me my space. So, where do we find, or where does my friend find these men? Cynthia and my friend wants to know.
So she wants to find someone, but she wants someone to give her a space. What she means by space.
Um, my friend, I would love somebody who respects my independence, and I think
Mm.
this is kind of where she goes. Who respects my independence, but also understands that I do want to have that partner. Someone who respects the fact that that we're comfortable in our skin, and we don't need someone in our life per se. We would like to have someone in our life. Um, but yeah, where do we find
Space.
them?
Space. You can find that person anywhere. There's no specific spot.
You're not helping my friend out.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I cannot send you somewhere. You can find that person anywhere. That's me
Come
being
on,
honest with you.
help a girl out, please.
Huh? Like you could go
Help a
out and
girl.
find somebody. You could be in church. You find that person. You could be
Mhm,
on the internet. You find that person. You could find that person anywhere. And the thing is, the conversation that you're gonna have with that person. That's when that's what's gonna change a lot of things because
mhm,
not everybody understand people when you tell them that, hey, I don't want you to be all on me. Like I need you to give me my space. And at the very beginning of a relationship, it's also difficult. But it's
mm,
also a level of maturity for that person as well to understand that, okay, she's a grown woman. She's done this, she's done that. She's not in the pressure of going through a relationship and getting married or having kids. She's already done all that. Right now, it's the fun time for me. We go out, we enjoy each other within each other's space with limits. You know what I mean? I'm not blowing your phone off, or I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm letting it go as slow as possible. But for that person, you could find that person literally anywhere. Because I'm not gonna tell you to go to church because a lot of people use church as a cover up. That's true.
mhm,
Like
mhm,
you would expect to go to church and say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna find somebody good," and then the
mhm.
amount of trouble that this person's gonna bring to your life is gonna be worse than you could have just go to the club and find somebody better.
Yeah, yeah,
Socialize
we have
more.
yeah.
Socialize more.
So
That's the first thing. If you really want to, was that?
I'm repeating you. Socialize
Yo,
more.
yeah. Socialize more. You know what I mean? Because that opens up the possibilities of not only being able to put each and every person you meet in a different category. You're gonna be able to see like, okay, this person is this person is that. I could go with that vibe. Gives you options. You know what I mean? Socialize more. Don't just expect to meet that person behind a book in the library. It's like, oh, I was
Mm,
just picking up a book and I dropped it and boom, we touch hands and
mhm,
that's you know what I mean? These are fairy tale
mhm.
stories, but you could find that person anywhere. The mindset and the maturity, what I mean, of that person is what expected is what's needed.
Wish, wish, wish so free. I love you, wish so free. Wish so free. Internet dating now sucks, but you have to make your wants known up front. Tell your friend. I love you, girl. Tell your friend to put her wants in her bio. Lay it all out.
Yeah,
Boom.
that's definitely gonna help, man.
Boom.
That's definitely gonna help. That's
Yeah.
definitely gonna help. But at the same time, it goes the same way when you are talking. Let's say that you meet this guy and you guys started talking. Don't just go deep within the, oh, he's so tall, he's so handsome.
Yeah.
Say what you
Yeah.
want. Say what
Yeah.
you want from the very beginning. Hey, this is where I'm at. This is where I want to be, but I don't want to be there just overnight. I want this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I
Mhm.
want to take my time because I really want to try this thing. This time, I really want this thing to stay. You know what I mean? Within that path, my space is really important because that's going to help me determine if it's worth it. That's what it is. Conversation. Have that conversation with the person from the get go. Like Wish So Free says online, you put that in your bio. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Put that in your bio.
Mhm.
You meet in person, have those conversations. Don't, and that's why it's important to have uncomfortable, what people call uncomfortable conversation. You
Yes.
know, what people call uncomfortable conversations are some of the best conversations that are actually needed at the
Yeah.
very beginning of each relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Well, Peace, we've gotten through all of our comments from
Okay.
everyone who is on our live with us. We've got plenty more comments that came through last night, and I
Okay.
know we've got more coming. So we're picking up again tomorrow.
Okay. That's fine with me. The one thing I wanted to say is for those of you who've already dealt with, difficult moments, relationship abuse, and things that you are still holding on to. Healing is one of the things that's going to help you reset. If you do not allow yourself to heal, you're going to bring all the toxic things that have already happened from your past relationship to your new relationship. A lot of people might not really think about that because you never give yourself time to heal. That's why you always feel the loneliness to be with somebody else. That's part of the reasons why you never want to take time to get to know people. The reason for that is because you're trying to fill up a void that's coming from you thinking that a relationship is going to help you. Heal yourself. Get to know yourself. Keep taking yourself out on dates. You know, help yourself get to a better version of you. So by the time you start dating somebody who sees you exactly as you want to be seen, it's gonna be explosion. Like you're just gonna be like, oh man, this guy gets me. And the only way you'll be able to really enjoy that version of yourself within the path of finding somebody good is by allowing yourself to heal. The second thing, since we've been talking about it, um, when a relationship is done, understand it's done. A lot
Mm,
of you guys already know when the relationship is done, but sometimes you just want to hear it from somebody. When the
mhm.
relationship is done, it's done. Let it go.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing you could do about it. When it's done, it's done. Because if a person can wake up every day and get to the path of either cheating on you, lying on you, not being emotionally available, not working on the relationship to make it better, that already gives you enough reasons to leave that relationship. Okay, that's basically one of the things that we need to think about. And as I said earlier, never stop working on yourself. And I guess we'll definitely see you guys tomorrow for another phenomenal session.
Y'all, everyone who is here, our unbreakable followers, I say it all the time. If you haven't done it already, subscribe on Pieces channel. Y'all need to go check out all the videos. Okay. There are so many. There's so much information, a lot of questions that come up. Y'all are going to find a lot of your answers in those videos. Go subscribe on my channel too. But we're all about peace right now. All
Unbreakable.
right.
Hey, no, seriously. Go subscribe. We're talking about healing.
Yes.
This lady
Healing
been
is my,
through a
yep.
lot.
I'm all about that's me.
This lady been through a lot. If you're looking for a voice, if you want a platform to talk about, we both do that. But when it comes to
Hmm.
unbreakable and uplifting, you have to check out her channel because she's using herself as an example. If she can do it, you can do it too.
Absolutely, y'all. Absolutely. Meet you here tomorrow.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you very much
All
for being
right.
here. Definitely looking forward to see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.